MAGA Mike Johnson was just humiliated today after Marjorie Taylor Greene, of all people, just slammed him and everything that he's doing. She not only said that he's lying, but that he is a weak Republican man. This was absolutely brutal, but I think it shows just how messed up this country is when Marjorie Taylor Greene is starting to be a sensible person in the Republican Party. So stick around to see her tear Mike Johnson to shreds, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. So the reason that Marjorie Taylor Greene is firing back so hard at Mike Johnson is because he keeps having these morning press conferences where he humiliates himself and his entire party by not being able to answer questions and just lying straight to the American public. For example, one way he dodges questions is by saying that he doesn't know anything about the question at all. Here's him just this morning saying that I know as much about it as you do after a reporter asked him a question.
There's been reports of bipartisan talks from senators to reopen the government, to move forward on ACA votes. Are you or other top House GOP members in the loop of these conversations? Are you present in these meetings?
No, I'm not present in the meetings. I know about as much about it as you do. I know there are, we hope, we pray, a handful of moderate and centrist Democrats left among the Democrats in the Senate, where the whole country is counting upon them.
Johnson also just refuses to answer questions he doesn't like. I mean, here's him being asked about SNAP and the fact that Trump is hosting a party for his billionaire friends while Americans are starving. And MAGA Mike says that he rejects the question. Just take a look at this.
So, yeah.
You talk about the split screen between the Democrats are doing and what the Republicans are doing. What about the split screen about the fact that the Trump administration is administering only part of the SNAP program while President Trump is having a gathering party at Mar-a-Lago?
I reject the premise of the question. Let me talk about SNAP. Okay. By the way, the president had an annual Halloween-themed party every year at Mar-a-Lago. That's what he went back to as obligatory tradition. And I just discount what you're trying to do there. The SNAP benefit is a very important question. The White House has bent over backwards, as we've recounted here every morning, to make sure that Americans' pain is mitigated as much as possible, reduced as much as possible. So we got the troops paid. They made creative solutions for that. The WIC funding for women, infants, and children. And SNAP came to a legal crossroads because the legal analysis said that you could not use the contingency fund if the underlying fund was not flowing. I've explained that into detail here multiple times. Two courts disagreed. So what did the president do? In good faith, showing again that he's willing to bend over backwards to help the American people when Democrats are not, he went to the court and said, fine, show me how to do it because we don't see the path.
And of course, Mike Johnson tried to spin that by saying that the Republicans are really working hard to get your benefits and Democrats are trying to take them away, when that couldn't be farther from the truth. Now, another thing that couldn't be farther from the truth is Mike Johnson claiming that he has a healthcare plan, and Marjorie Taylor Greene just went on The View and exposed MAGA Mike for this exactly. She admitted that she thinks that he's lying about having a healthcare plan, because if he did, he would have something to say about it already.
And I hope that Mike Johnson is finally giving a single healthcare policy because the country deserves it, and it shouldn't be a secret. And I shouldn't have to go into a skiff to go find our Republican health insurance plan.
Maybe
Honestly,
there is no plan.
You know what? You want to know something? That, I believe, is the truth. There's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of bills, but there's no consensus. And I think that's a failure. I do.
And Mike Johnson was lying about this healthcare plan as recently as Monday because it's such a hot topic that the American people want answers to.
So another thing that happened this weekend is open enrollment began for Obamacare. People are seeing a change in their premiums, essentially, if these subsidies that are set to expire at the end of the year are not changed, renewed, handled in some way. Last time you were here, we talked about Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, who had some real frustrations about this. Where is the Republican plan? I know you two had talked. Well, she posted this on X this week. She says, Johnson said he's got ideas and pages of policy ideas and committees of jurisdiction are working on it, but he refused to give one policy proposal to our GOP conference on our own conference call. Apparently, I have to go into a skiff, referencing a protected intel sharing type place, to find out the Republican health care plan. And there are a lot of exclamation points there.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's absurd. Obviously, we're not going to be on a conference call explaining all of our plans and strategies for healthcare reform because they're leaked in real time, literally. When I have a conference call with all my members, it's tweeted out by journalists. They're supposed to be private, but they're not. And so Marjorie knows that. She knows she can come into my office any day at any hour, and I'll lay out everything for her. The committees of jurisdiction, the people who specialize in all of this, have been working on this around the clock for a long time. In fact, we published 60 or 70 pages of healthcare reform ideas in 2019 when I was the chair of the Republican Study Committee, the largest caucus in Congress. Our ideas have been out there for a long time. We're formulating the final plan that will bring down premiums. There's only one party in America that is going to do that. Remember, the Democrats are the ones that created the system that is failing us. They created Obamacare. They said it was going to bring down costs. It's done exactly the opposite. Premiums, by some estimates, are up 60% since Obamacare was created in 2010. So it's the Republican Party that is going to bring down the cost, not the Democrats. They've already proven what they're about.
I always find it so funny how they keep saying that, oh, we have a healthcare plan and oh, that we've been working on it for so long, but we haven't heard anything about it. It's been so many years since Trump first took office, and yet we still don't have a singular piece of evidence that they actually have a plan. So I think it's more likely that a plan just doesn't exist. Now, another thing that Marjorie Taylor Greene called out Mike for was the fact that the House members are not working right now. They have been out of session for so long now, all so that they don't have to release the Epstein files. Just take a look at her call out Mike Johnson for this.
And the worst thing that I just can't get over is we're not working right now. And I put that criticism directly on the Speaker of the House. And we should be at work. All the people sitting in this audience, they go to work every day. People at home watching this show, they go to work every day. Ladies, you go to work every day, the people on your set, and it is an embarrassment to me that we're not in session.
And one final blow to Mike Johnson today, Marjorie Taylor Greene did not hold back, literally calling him a weak Republican man.
So, Marjorie, conservatives were criticizing you for coming on this show. I think you mentioned it already, that there were a few. And you called them, quote unquote, I believe this is you, mostly weak Republican men. So, would you like to name names?
I think there's a lot of paid social media influencers. And I found it very interesting that they were the MAGA accounts, but they're all paid, and they all attacked me when I announced I was coming to join you ladies on The View. And I think that's very weak and pathetic. But when I talk about weak Republican men, I'm pretty much talking oftentimes about the leadership in the House and the Senate, and they're not getting our agenda done. And I've got so many bills. I have a bill you guys in New York would love. It would end capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home. So if you've owned a house for a long time,
we used to have that.
well, we need it back. But I can't even get it to the floor for a vote without Mike Johnson approving it to come to the floor.
I don't know why, but I just find that so funny. But I also find it really sad how I'm starting to agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She has historically been one of the most insane members of the Republican Party, and yet now she's coming across as one of the most sensible ones. Now, I do think she's still as crazy as she always was. She's just now choosing to have a little bit of common sense, which I guess is a hard thing to ask for these days from the Republican Party. Now, I really hate that this is what our country has come to, but we'll just have to take what we're given, especially when it comes to someone calling out Donald Trump. And if you agree, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more.